Hey, it's Chris here with Okanagan Peak Performance, and you see a lot of people training with different implements and tools these days, and a common one is that people are using is kettlebells. Now, the nice thing about a kettlebell is everything you can do with a dumbbell, you can do with a kettlebell, but not vice versa. And the reason kettlebells are popular is that asymmetric loading. We have more loading on one side of the bell than the other. And the other nice feature too is a little bit wider, thicker handle. It's developing more grip strength. And then lastly, we can also go to a bell up condition for some of our presses and lifts and movements. Now, what I want to talk to you about today is if we're doing overhead pressing, I want you to be able to go out there and see how much difference is there to being what you could press overhead with a dumbbell and what you could press overhead with a bell up kettlebell. And I want your goal to be that you can have 50% of that or greater. So here I'm going to demonstrate. I'm coming in cold, and this is going to be a tough one for me. But if I grab a 65 dumbbell, I can press that overhead. This is going to be a tough one for me. Okay? And that's a pretty good challenge for me. I might be able to warm up and be able to get that up a little bit more, but that's at least an 8 out of 10 effort-wise for me at 65 pounds, okay? Now, if I grab a 16 kilo kettlebell, this is gonna be about 35 pounds, so it's a little bit more than 50% of that 65 pound dumbbell. And once I've found a good balanced position, I'm gonna try and press that up overhead and bring it back down under control. So I was able to do that and complete. So I think I could go up. I might be able to get the 20. I know I've done that before. I can get a little bit closer. But what I want to recommend and for guys to try is to say, if you can press a dumbbell, a 50-pound dumbbell overhead, can you do an equivalent 25-pound kettlebell bell up overhead to have your 50%? And as you get stronger with your dumbbell pressing, can you stay just as strong with your bell up press? For women, can you do a 25 or a 30-pound dumbbell press overhead? And at 50% of that, could you do maybe a 15 or a 20-pound kettlebell with the bell up overhead? The reason both of those matter is if we're just concerned with pressing dumbbells overhead, it's always a balanced weight, it's equal loading on both sides of the hand. It's very symmetrical for us, so we get very good at increasing our force production. We get better at developing strength, but we don't necessarily have very good alignment. When I'm pressing up a kettlebell here, in that bell up condition, I have to make sure that that shoulder is well organized and I've got optimal stability through that shoulder joint in order to allow for that movement to happen. So if you're seeing that your strength on the dumbbell is just increasing, but you cannot press a dumbbell or a kettlebell with a bell up, if that's not increasing, you're lacking some stability, there's not good organization on that shoulder, that may be a red flag for an injury to come. On the flip side, if you're much closer, if you're a lot higher than 50% of your bell up press to your dumbbell, it may be that you've got great stability, but you're just weak as a kitten. So if you can press a 20-pound dumbbell overhead, and then you're grabbing the 8 or the pink kettlebell that's at 8 kilo, and that's like 17 pounds, if you're pressing at almost 85% of your bell up weight with a kettlebell, you just need to get stronger. So it's a kind of fun test or challenge for you to give a try. See what can you do with a dumbbell, then come over and try with a bell up kettlebell, see what your ratios are, and then go from there in order to get stronger and safer, healthier shoulders.